Hey there, this is Maria from English Without Fear. Do you ever wish that you were like someone else? Well, the hedgehog, the little animal in today's story, felt just that same sentiment until he had an adventure. So sit back, relax, listen, and just try to understand as much as you can.
English Without Fear, where you can learn to speak English naturally through listening to stories.
Once upon a time, there was a little hedgehog named Kazakhstan. He lived in the woods with lots of other hedgehog families. But he was not an ordinary, normal hedgehog. No, Kazakhstan was not ordinary. He was different. How was he different? What made him not ordinary? All the other little hedgehogs had pointy quills covering their bodies. Kazakhstan did not have pointy quills. He had curly hair all over his body. He was different. He was extraordinary, but not normal. What was the problem? Why was this a problem for Kazakhstan? It was a problem because all the other little hedgehogs laughed at him. Look at him! Look at Kazakhstan with his curly hair. Do you need some hair curlers, Kazakhstan? Poor Kazakhstan. He was ashamed. He was embarrassed. He did not like his curly hair. He wanted to be like the other hedgehogs who had pointy quills. But he had curly hair, and no one in the hedgehog community in the woods, no one knew why. One day there was panic in the woods. Why was everybody panicked and running around screaming? There was panic in the woods because a bad man named Brocco was walking through the woods grabbing hedgehogs and putting them into this bag. Why was Brocco, this bad man, grabbing hedgehogs and putting them into a bag? He wanted to eat them. He wanted to eat the hedgehogs for dinner. Every hedgehog ran around looking for a place to hide. Brocco kept walking, grabbing and putting hedgehogs in the woods. Brocco was a bad man who had no hair. He did not have hair. He was bald. Was Kazakhstan bald? No, Kazakhstan had curly hair. Brocco, the bad man, was bald, so he wore a wig to cover his bald head. What happened? As he was walking through the woods and he grabbed hedgehogs, he tripped, he stumbled and fell in the woods. And when he fell in the woods, his wig fell off. Brocco had a problem with his eyes. He couldn't see very well. So when he looked on the ground to find his wig, he saw Kazakhstan, and he thought Kazakhstan with the curly hair was his wig. So Brocco, the bad man, grabbed Kazakhstan and put the little hedgehog on his head. Kazakhstan immediately started to scratch and bite Brocco's head. He scratched and he bit his head so much that Brocco yelled, dropped the bag with hedgehogs, knocked Kazakhstan off his head, and ran as fast as he could out of the woods. A miracle. It was wonderful. All the hedgehogs were saved. Nobody was eaten. And Brocco, the bad man, never ever came back to the woods. He never forgot his head that something had scratched and bitten. And what about Kazakhstan, the hedgehog with the curly hair? He was the hero in the whole entire hedgehog family. Kazakhstan had saved the day. He had rescued the hedgehog community from Brocco, the bad man. And ever since that time, way back when, parents and grandparents have told their little hedgehog children all about Kazakhstan, the brave hedgehog with the curly hair. And even today, families hope that they have a baby hedgehog with curly hair. And if they do, if they have a baby with curly hair, they will name him Kazakhstan. Isn't that a nice story? You know, have you ever felt different? Have you ever wanted to be like everybody else? Tell me about it. Leave me a comment below this video. And if you're a teacher or coach of some English language learners and you would like the transcript for today's episode, go to www.englishwithoutfear.com. There's a place to enter an email to get my newsletter that I write about every month. But when you give me your email, then every time I have an episode like today's story, I will send you a link with the video and with the transcript, plus a couple of tips of how you might be able to use it in the classroom or with your students. Well, that's it for this episode of English Without Fear. Talk to you next time.
Thanks for watching. For questions or comments, here's my email